You are listening to No Balls Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick McDonald. With me, no co-host today, going by myself, just for a quick episode. Sheldon couldn't be here today, so our bi-weekly recap episode will be pushed back sometime next week. MLB episode for next week, we're currently planning, we're expecting a Soto signing, so that'll probably be, as soon as that happens, we're going to just make an episode, and that'll go up that day. So, as of right now, there's no MLB episode planned for next week. Bi-weekly recap will be done next week, either in the normal slot that the MLB episodes are, or on the next Friday if we have to do it that way. What this episode is, I doubt this one will be even very lengthy, is doing something that I've been meaning to get uploaded on the channel for a while now. Sheldon gave me this idea where it kind of a viral idea, to say the least. We both joined a random fantasy basketball league on ESPN. We originally recorded us drafting our teams. What ended up happening is I really don't think that the footage we got would end up being that entertaining, because it's just both of us looking at our phones the whole time, doing a little bit of talking. But I figured I would just give a debriefing here, and it's already been 6 weeks since that's come out, so some of the team stuff has changed anyway. Basically, to start, I think Sheldon had back-to-back picks at the end of the round. He had pick 10, I think, is where ESPN starts the default leagues. He had, he had picked like 3 and I had pick 10. That's what ended up happening. At pick 3, he got Victor Wembanyama, and then he got Trae Young in the second round. Trae Young, interestingly enough, was a guy who I was considering with my first pick, or with one of my first 2 picks. I ended up going Jalen Brunson and Anthony Davis. That's the forefront of our teams. How we've currently gone, I'm 2-4. Sheldon is 3-3. We did play each other already once. I'll say this: the caveat of this is, the loser of this league between the two of us is doing a GLeague tryout. That being said, if we both make the playoffs and Sheldon has a worse record and he goes farther in the playoff, or I think we said if he wins if the less record wins the entire league, then it goes to the person who didn't win the league. That's how we're gonna keep rolling with it. Just overall strategy, it's really weird with ESPN's Auto League, because there's 3 bench spots and an IR spot, and then there are 10 starters, I believe. It's honestly really weird. At the start of the season, I think I drafted Porzingis because I figured I would stash him on the IR. I ended up dropping him for Embiid because the dude who had Embiid dropped Embiid, because it seemed like he was never going to play basketball, and he really hasn't played basketball. I've done a lot of that. I got Beal while he was hurt. I got Paul George while he was hurt. I got Boncaro while he was hurt. I drafted Zion, and Zion's been hurt. So I've had a lot of hurt players, but I've had a good run of things. A lot of players have gone right for me. Franz Wagner has really taken a step forward with Boncaro out. Josh Hart's, I'm honestly not surprised by what Josh Hart has done, because I know he can put up stats. He just hasn't really ever started in his career. Those are some guys who've really gone right for me. I've also had Brandon Miller, and then I rotate in guys. Malik Monk, Anthony Simons, Jonas Valanciunas. I just continually add those guys off the waiver wire, depending on who's playing that day. Sheldon's strategy so far, he got a bunch of guards. He got Kyrie, he got Trae Young, he got Desmond Bane. He wanted guys who were going to put up a lot of scoring numbers. He did a thing where he just picks up guys who I mentioned on the podcast that I think are really good. He did it with Tari Eason. He did it with Devin Vassell. Peyton Pritchard, I think we probably mentioned him off the episode on how good he had been. I don't think we mentioned it in the actual uploaded video. But yeah, Sheldon right now is starting Kyrie, Desmond Bain, Anunoby, Siakam, Zubac. He picked up Zubac. I think I had originally picked up Zubac when KP was hurt. And then I dropped him at some point early in the year. Zubac's probably not going to leave his roster all year. He's got Pritchard, Eason, Miles Turner, Wemby, Trae Young, Mathurin, Vassell, Kobe White, and Porzingis. And then on my roster, I have Kate Cunningham, Josh Hart, Brandon Miller, AD, Hartenstein, Brunson, Beal, Paul George, Franz Wagner, Zion, Embiid, Malik Monk, Julius Randle, and Von Carroll. If you can't tell, I'm coming down with a little bit of sickness. Early on, this is really weird. I haven't talked to myself on an episode in a while. I think when I originally started the podcast by myself, it was like this. It was really hard to do complete episodes by myself. So this is honestly going to be a pretty short talking. I figured I would also just throw in any other NBA thoughts that I have right now that I want to get off. Franz Wagner's really fucking awesome. He's kind of like a 6'10" point guard right now. I think he's averaging close to 7 assists a game. And, the eye test does back that up for the most part. I wouldn't say he's been like an elite passer, but he's probably like a tick or two down from that. Milwaukee's recently gone on a run. We'll definitely talk about that in depth at some point, either next week or whenever our next recap is up. It will be sometime next week, whether it's Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. We'll see. Philly remains hurt. We're not allowed to talk about them on the podcast. I guess this is the only time I'm allowed to talk about them because Sheldon's not here, so I can. I did go to a Knicks and Hornets game on the day after Thanksgiving. It was actually like a really fun experience as an NBA Cup game. It was packed out. Somehow I was expecting, hey, I'll be able to move up, and because we got nosebleed seats. So I was like, hey, we'll be able to move up and sit in like the third row or like the back of the first level of seats. We weren't able to do that. It was a really fun environment. Knicks ended up winning by one, but it was really by four with the Josh Green shot at the end. What a really fun way to end a game. He shot just toilet bowls around for 3 seconds and then game over. That was really a fun game to watch. As far as like other sports stuff, or I can continue on NBA in a second, but I think every baseball fan's really just locked in on where Juan Soto is going to go right now. As a Mets fan, I feel like I have to comment on the Clay Holmes signing. I think Clay Holmes is a good signing for the Mets. I don't know if it's a great one. Finn and I probably won't be grading any other transactions for a while, so I'll just throw out a grade for that pick. In my opinion, I think it's like a B acquisition. Reason is I do see real downside to it with Clay Holmes potentially just still being a mid-relief arm, and then at that rate, like you're not wanting to pay a guy $12.5 million a season to be a setup man. But if the starting pitcher upside is there, like I think a good bit of people do actually believe in that, and like people who their opinion is worth noting, they believe that it's possible. I think it's a fine deal because if he does hit that, 3-4 starter upside, I think Clay Holmes is a really good bid for $12.5 million for 2 seasons. I think it's a good move. B, because there's some risk to it for sure. It's a B move. The Severino move I think was really fun. Oakland, their biggest free agency contract in team history, and it's by a lot too. Um, I'm interested what Severino's going to look like in Oakland. I guess they're not playing in Oakland anymore, so we're not sure. They're playing in. I should really know this. What stadium are they playing in next season? Because Oakland was a Oakland was a huge pitcher's ballpark, and okay, so they're gonna be playing in Sutter Heath Park in Sacramento for 3 seasons. I'm gonna see if that is a hitters friendly park or let's see, dimensions potentially. Dimensions. Yeah, so I've got the dimensions on Sutter Heath Park. 330 to left, 325 to right. That's relatively short for a major league ballpark. 403 to center. That's that's pretty that's legit. And then we'll look at altitude for it's Sacramento, so it's basically a sea level. It's a sea level ballpark. So to me, maybe it'll play a little hitter friendly because those corners sound kind of short. Um, it's also in the Bay, or yeah, it's in the Bay. So it should be pretty dry air around there. We'll see. I don't know. Uh, Oakland, they're a fun team. Um, Finn and I are putting out top. Finn might not put out a top 100. I'm going to put out a top 100. Um, Lawrence Butler, I think, is a really fun player. It's hard for me to argue. Like it's impossible for me to argue him onto a top 100 list, just because of lack of track record and like if he was super good last season, uh, then I would have a chance to get him in there. But yeah, like he was just a pretty good player as a rookie. Let me pull up his exact stat line on my phone because I do really like Lawrence Butler. Yeah, he had a 3B WAR. He had 22 homers. Uh, a 131 W or OPS plus. He had a rough go of things in 130 plate appearances last season. Uh, I'm interested in what Lawrence Butler brings to the table. I doubt it'll be that good again. Uh, but hey, if he does, then he's a really fun ball player, especially with Rooker in there. They'll have some decent young players coming up. I think Darrell Hernandez is a pretty solid player. He should be getting more playing time for them now. Uh, I'm interested in Oakland. I don't think Finn and I will have um, kind of what Sheldon and I did with the uh, where we gave every team their own episode for the NBA. In the MLB, we're going to do that, but for every division, we'll get their own episode because I feel like it's a lot harder with how the MLB offseason works to schedule 30 different recording uploads without compromising our schedule for the NBA uploads. Uh, so that'll be that. That'll probably start in late January, maybe mid-February, between somewhere in that range is when it'll start. We'll go one episode a week until opening day starts. We've already given players that we like for next season. Um, for me, that was kind of just honorable mentions for my top 100. I think one of them, Jazz Chisholm, ended up making the considerations for the top 100. I haven't really ordered anything yet. I've just put 150 players on a spreadsheet. That's as far as that's come along right now. I hinted at a special guest episode on the steroid era that will hopefully be between uh, December. Wait, what day it was? Okay, that'll hopefully be between December 12. No, that's not right. Between December 19 and New Year's, sometime in there. I hope that episode will be coming out. Uh, Top 100s, when to expect them. Um, I would say that they will definitely come out before January ends. I don't know where Finn is on his. Last time we had spoke, he hadn't started his really yet. Uh, there will be. I guess it's kind of ironic now that they've spent money. We had always been planning to do a Let's Argue episode on the Oakland A's and spending money for them. Um, I guess we're just getting data points now that they've got Severino on free agency. But that episode should be coming out soon. Other than that, I guess I threw out a bunch of updates here because not many people watch to the end of these. Our full length episodes, and I guess a 15-minute thing is a little bit more palatable for more people to watch. Especially because some people are only going to watch for NBA, some people are going to only watch for MLB. So yeah, that'll do it for today. I will at least you guys by Tuesday with Sheldon if nothing happens with Juan Soto, which I extremely doubt. I expect that by the 9th or the 10th, we'll have an announcement on Juan Soto. So I'll see you guys then.